What was the definite moment that changed your life, views and ideas about life and the world in general? The moment that changed my life happened when I was 26, standing in a hospital room watching my younger brother, Sam, 22 at the time, take his last breath after a 2-year battle with leukemia. I'm 29 now, and I can still see every detail of that room, the sterile white walls, the hum of the machines, the way the sunlight slanted through the blinds and caught the dust in the air. Sam was my best friend, the kind of person who could make anyone laugh, even on their worst day. He was the one who dragged me out to stargaze in the middle of nowhere, telling me stories about constellations he'd half made up. Losing him shattered everything I thought I knew about life. Before that moment, I was coasting. I had a decent job in marketing, a small apartment, a routine of work, gym, and weekends at the bar with friends. I didn't think much about the big stuff, purpose, mortality, what really mattered. I figured I had time to sort it all out later. But watching Sam slip away, holding his hand as he smiled weakly and said, "Keep looking at the stars for me, okay?" It broke something in me and woke me up at the same time. I realized life isn't this endless runway you get to plan forever. It's fragile, unfair, and way too short. I'd spent years chasing promotions and scrolling through my phone, while Sam had been squeezing every bit of joy out of his days, even when he was sick. The surprising part was how that moment didn't just crush me, it reshaped me. I expected to drown in grief, and I did for a while. I'd cry in my car after work, avoid our favorite hiking trails because they felt haunted, and get angry at the world for moving on like nothing happened. But Sam's words stuck with me. I started looking at the stars again, alone at first, feeling him in the quiet. I began questioning everything. Why was I working a job I didn't care about? Why was I living for someday instead of now? I'd always seen the world as this predictable machine, work hard, get ahead, be happy. But Sam's death showed me it's chaotic, beautiful, and temporary. I started valuing moments over milestones, people over paychecks. I quit my job 6 months later and used my savings to travel to places Sam and I had talked about, Patagonia, Iceland, anywhere with big skies. I'd camp out, stare at the stars, and journal about what I was feeling. It wasn't about escaping grief, it was about living the way Sam did, with intention. I realized I'd been asleep to my own life, letting it pass in a blur of routine. Now, I try to say yes to things that scare me, like moving to a new city last year to work with a non-profit that supports cancer patients. It's not glamorous, but it feels right. My view of the world shifted from something to conquer to something to experience, deeply, messily, fully. Update, 2 years later, I'm still figuring out what this new version of me looks like, but I'm happier than I ever was before Sam's death, which feels strange to say. I've settled into my work with the non-profit, and it's humbling to help families going through what we did. I've also started a small blog where I share stories about Sam and the places I've traveled in his honor. It's connected me with people who've lost someone too, and their messages remind me I'm not alone. Last month, I went stargazing with a group of volunteers, and we ended up laughing and telling stories until dawn. I felt Sam there, in the best way. Life's still messy, and I miss him every day, but I'm trying to live in a way that would make him proud, chasing meaning, not just surviving.